Alright, so I know a lot of you guys out there like patina. Now, personally, it's not my favorite thing, but I have found exceptions recently that I kind of like. The question is, what's the best way to lock that patina in? We've seen a million different things on the internet, but I'm going to try something a little different that I haven't seen done. Doesn't mean it ain't been done, it means I haven't seen it done. And let's see how this works. This really stands the potential of us just destroying something, but that's where the fun lies in, right?
I'd say it's a nut job.
Alright, so mama didn't raise no dummy, and we're going to try it on something that, I don't really care if it messes it up. This has been sitting here a while. You've seen it in the background. This is a 48 Ford that I picked up. It's just a shell, and we're going to build a purpose-built race car out of it. But it's got some patina, as the kids call it, on the fender right here. And we're going to see if we can use something to lock this in and make this patina just there and look good. Will it work? Well, you'll be the judge of that at the end of this. So what am I trying? Y'all gonna have to put on your imagination caps for this one, because again, I don't know if it's gonna work. How about this? Floor polish, made for hardwood floors. Now hang on. This is why I think this might be a good idea. It dries to a hard finish like a paint does. It's pretty scuff resistant because it's on floors and houses. It has to be resistant to things like water and pet stains and all these things. So it sounds like it might work. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I have plans to paint this car when I make a race car out of it. So it doesn't really matter what it does. It's the perfect test subject. Now, I know there's things out there like Poppy's Patina. That's fine. The old Vice Grip juice. That's fine. The boiled burnt linseed oil. If you boil it too long, it's burnt, right? All those things are fine. Even people that clear coat it. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Here's my thoughts on all of that. The juice that you buy, like Poppy's Patina and things of that nature, even the clear coat, well, they're expensive. They cost a good deal of money. And boiled linseed oil, I don't really like it because it leaves that old greasy like texture on it. It does look good, but I don't like the way it feels, if that makes sense. So in comes this. Now they only sell this in big jugs, and this should be enough to do about 5 vehicles. Honestly, I don't know yet. We'll find out in a minute. But this, at your local Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever box store you want to participate in frequenting, this is like 20 bucks, 23 bucks. So it's a half cost of some of that, a third cost of some of it. And yeah, you might have to have some other stuff. You don't have stuff laying around. I tend to have a little bit of stuff laying around, but say you bought a sponge and some scuff pads and all that stuff, you're still probably 30 bucks into the whole setup. You know what I mean? And again, this is enough to do 3, 4, 5 vehicles with, depending on how many coats you put on. Let's find out together if it works. Let's just dig into this. Now, I'm the guy that gives something every chance in the world to fail for 2 reasons. Well, first off, let me just say that's probably the wrong way to do that. But I give everything a chance to fail for 2 reasons. Number one, nobody's actually going to read the instructions anyway. They're going to do what they want to do, and then if it doesn't work, they're going to go, well, see, that didn't work, so that stuff's no good, and blame the product. Well, if I just go ahead and do stuff the worst way possible, then if it works, I mean, I figure it's kind of dummy proof, right? And second, it wouldn't really do you any good to read the instructions because, well, it's floor polish. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's floor polish. I just poured water on it, wiped it off, and then called her good enough. I mean, it still has tree sap on it. We're literally doing this the absolutely laziest way you can possibly do it. And let's see if it works. So there it is. It's mostly dried off. Actually, we're going to call it dried off. We're not going to touch the hood. It's still covered in crap. But we just wipe that fender down. I'll back up a little bit. We just wipe the fender down. And we're going to call her good enough. And let's see what happens. So I'm not going to even bother reading the instructions. Again, it's floor polish. Use a dish sponge because that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. We're just going to dip it in there and rub it on it. Let's just see what happens. Okay, well, I'm going to call that good for a first coat, and let it dry up a little bit and maybe do a second coat. We're going to let it dry and see how it hardens and what kind of finish it gets on it. I'm going to do a spot on the roof that hasn't been cleaned. It's still just nasty, and try that as well, just to compare if it matters if the surface is clean or not. Not that this is even remotely clean. All right, let's try that too. A bit on the old spongeroo here, and let's just do a spot on the dirty old roof. And maybe down the pillar because I had a little too much on the sponge and it's running. Get a little bird poop in it. That always helps. Helps authenticate the patina. Okay. Let's see what we let's see what we end up with now. What do you guys think so far? You think this stuff has any chance of actually working and having a polish or a shine on these fenders? Fender in the hood or fender in the roof here? Let me know what you think. Go ahead, pop some comments in there, and in a few minutes we'll know together. All right, I'm not going to show it to you yet, but I will say this. I loosely looked at the bottle, and it says for a floor you're supposed to give it about 30 minutes, and it's been about 5. It says it takes about 30 minutes for it to really harden up and do what it's going to do. And I can tell you, after 5 minutes, I'm already impressed with it. But if it gets to looking better than what it does now, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm not a Patina kid, but this could change my mind. It's kind of impressive. Let's see. All right, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. I said I wouldn't, but I am. This is 5 minutes in. You can tell the difference right there, but 5 minutes into this, and this is what it looks like. Now, there's no sun shining on that. As you can see, it's underneath. It's pretty much in the woods. You know what I'm saying? So there's no sun on it. That's just the sheen or shine that it has 5 minutes in. Now, reading the bottle, again, this is for floors, but reading the bottle, it says it takes about 30 minutes to cure. It also says that it recommends 3 to 4 coats. That's 1 coat. And it says wait 30 minutes between coats, blah, blah, blah. And the more coats, the more shine. But this thing should harden to a hard shell finish. It also says for best results, again, it's talking about a floor. For best results, get the old buffer out and buff the floor afterwards. So it sounds like if that's what I've got after 5 minutes with 1 coat, that you could almost make this thing look like a wet clear coat. But we're going to hang in here. We're going to give it the full 30 minutes. We're going to look at it with 1 coat and no buffing or no polish to see what it looks like. I believe this is going to give you the ability to chase the finish and the look that you want, whether it's a kind of a satiny shine, or where you want a good gloss shine, or where you want a high gloss shine, depending on coats and if you buff it or not. So yeah, we're going to give it a few minutes, and then we're going to come back and take a look at it. All right, we won't look at the fender again. We're going to give the fender the full 30 minutes now to cure. I'm going to go in the house, chill out for a few minutes, and give this thing the full 30 minutes to cure. But let's look at the roof right here where I put just a little bit on this spot right here. No cleaning, no rubbing. Didn't even take a cloth and wipe it down. I literally just smeared it on there. Let's see what it looks like in about 6 or 7 minutes, because it was done after the fender. The fender's about, yeah, so it's probably only about 5 minutes or so. Again, we're completely under trees, no sun in here, and it ran down the pillar because I didn't put any effort into it. But look at it, and here's what tells the story. I think that tells a lot about it right there. The fact that you can't even keep if you just drop it, you can't even keep a rag on it. This is 5 minutes in. It's already hard. It's already really smooth. But according to the instructions, if you actually read them, it'll say it dries to touch in just a few minutes. But you need to give it 30 minutes to draw that lustrous shine out. Now, I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it. But I know even on the roof where I didn't even wipe it off with a paper towel, I literally just smeared some on there. It's over the top of lichen and mold and tree sap and everything else, and smooth as a glass is what I'm talking about, and already has some shine to it. It's be interesting to see what happens. We'll come back in 30 minutes. It'll be like 2 minutes for y'all, and we'll see what happens. Before I go away for a few minutes, I want to take note of how little it took on that fender. I can't tell I actually used anything. That's the little plate I was using and a little sponge, and I just barely put enough in the bottom to cover that price sticker on the bottom, and you can see it still just barely covers it. What I noticed was I dipped my sponge about twice for that fender and that patch on the roof. Is all. I just bloop, bloop, and it was done. Maybe it was 3 times, I don't remember, but very few times that I dipped the sponge in it. It covers really, really well. It does not take a lot of it, and that's a big jug. So Lord have mercy to think about the amount of vehicles that could be done with this thing. I feel like it'll do a lot. I feel like it's going to cover a lot. Now we're going to, like I said, we're going to give it 30 minutes, and I'll be right back. You'll be right back with it, and you'll know it. But I'm going to give it a full 30 minutes, let it cure, and then we're going to check it out. It already looks incredible. I am blown away by it. All right, so let's walk back here and see what we got. It's been right at 30 minutes, and we'll get back here. We'll take a look at it and see if I can see it. Hey. And just so everybody knows that it is dry, including me, we're going to take a white paper towel, good and clean, just rub across it, look at it, make sure it's clean. Look at this. Wow. Let's just, we can get that out of the way. Spotless. Wow. With no sunlight in here, it's kind of hard to capture the amount of shine that is on this thing. It's ridiculous. Now you can tell the difference between what I didn't touch and what I did just by sound. Listen. This right here is as smooth as glass. Like these sap spots, I don't even feel them. It's got like this good eggshell kind of coating over it. I can feel a bump right here, but you can't get a hold of it. It's smooth transition. Wow. Just look at that. It's hard to get a light on that to where you can actually see the amount of gloss and deep shine that's in that. I mean, you can see, there you go, you can see my reflection in it, like a clear coat. See if I use the other hand. Well, you can see me holding the camera right here. This is, look at this. Incredible. What about the roof that we just dumped clear coat, dumped this floor polish over the top of all the crap? Well, there you go. It's just as smooth, and look at the gloss and just the, I mean, this is almost like he sprayed clear coat over this. And it doesn't scratch. That's pretty incredible right there. That's pretty tough. What's on my knife? That's pretty tough, I'd say. Really tell the difference in this fender. Now again, this is one coat, and you already got this. Hey people. Now again, I read the instructions after I put it on there like any true person would do, and it said that you're supposed to allow 30 minutes to cure, and you should do 3 to 4 coats to get that lustrous shine, and then you should use one of those buffer things to buff it out with. I didn't do any of that. That's one coat, and we did let it sit for about 30 minutes, and it looks pretty good. Maybe we should torture test it. What do you think? There we go. Torture test it. I was told by the bottle, the longer it sits, the more shine it really comes out of it. So we'll see. And it's going to be out in this nasty weather it's coming too. So in a day or two, we'll really know how it holds up. Now apparently yeeting across the yard with a pole will leave a mark on it if you look. Yep, right there. Yeah, but it almost rubs out. Anyway, I can't imagine what that, ooh, just rubbing it with a towel. Man, yeah, I can't imagine what that would look like if you actually put some time and effort into it. Look at all of this that wasn't touched, and look at that. Tremendous difference, tremendous difference. Same down here, you can tell where the two halves of the fender. I don't know what else to say, guys. You can draw your own conclusion if you think it's worth it, but this dries firm like an eggshell, just like a clear coat would. Doesn't leave any residue. Here we go, I got some water now. Let's do some water. Really soaks it up right there. And it's gone. Yep, thoroughly impressed with this. That's some magic stuff right there. Okay, like I said, the Zep floor polish here, it's kind of good. And again, I didn't really see anybody trying this before. That may be the well-kept secret of the patina world. I don't know, nobody's talking about it, but whatever. I'll try it, and I've got to say, I am thoroughly impressed with it. I don't know what else I can say about it. It done exactly what I expected it to do. It's not greasy or tacky or any of that stuff. It's completely dry, just like fresh paint would be. It honestly works just like a automotive clear coat. It's smooth. It seems to lock everything in. It's pretty doggone tough. I mean, even throwing that stick at it, we rubbed some of the bark off the stick onto the, or some of the finish off the stick onto the fender, but most of it wiped right back off. And let's be honest, you're not really beating on your vehicle with a stick, you know what I mean? So as far as a driver goes, maybe onto something here. We may have to step up our game and possibly coat a whole vehicle with it and see what happens. I'll give you one more look at this one before we call this video and let you have one more peek at it, see what you think. And then you can see the water still hanging around right there, and the water we poured over here is completely gone. But there it is. The difference between the rest of the car and that fender really brings out the colors. And again, you can see my reflection right there. I mean, it's just like a, I don't know what else to call it other than just like a clear coat. I will say that you can't, these spots of sap that I went over, you can't even feel them. Like, you can't even get your hands on them. This right here where a glob of paint was on here, these I don't feel. This one I do, but you can't get your finger dug under it. It has a shell over it. It's just got a little lump right there. So if you kept applying it and building this up, you probably could get that out. It's incredible. I don't know what else I can say, guys. This is something I didn't expect to do this good. Listen, again, that's one coat and I didn't buff anything. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you wanted to come through and apply multiple coats, you could probably get a real shine out of this thing. Or if you went back and buffed it, you could probably get a real shine out of this. This is more of what I would call, it's not satin by any means, and it's not what I would call an extremely high gloss. I would call it a low gloss, because it's above a semi-gloss, but it's not quite to the high gloss, so we'll just call it a low gloss. And it works. I mean, not much else I can say about it other than it works. You can try it for yourself if you want to. I don't guarantee any results. All I know is this is the first time I tried it, and I was thoroughly impressed, let's say. I'm not hating on this at all. I really do think this worked well. Now what I will do is, because I know a lot of people want to know about durability, we're about to get another storm here, it looks like. We've had a couple of rough ones over the last few days, and of course, it's going to stay right here under this tree on the edge of the woods. And in about a week, I'll do a little short where we'll walk up and look at it again, and we'll see how it lasts in about a week of probably worse abuse than a driver would ever take. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment of what you think about the Zep floor polish. Maybe you've tried it. I just haven't seen people trying it. I've seen a lot of things, and this is by far, so far, the cheapest way I have seen. I have the receipt from Lowe's here, where I bought all of this stuff. And why they give you a receipt 14 miles long for like 2 items, I don't know. The bathroom, or not bathroom, the kitchen non-scratch sponge there. It's called a scrub sponge, non-scratch scrub sponge. There was a pack of 4 of those for $3, so less than $1 a piece. I just grabbed a multi-pack. And the Zep, what does that say? Zep wet look, Zep wet, 120 ounce, 128 ounce. I can't read this freaking receipt. The Zep 128 ounce wet floor look was $23.98. Oh, the little tray. The little tray was $1.45. Less than $35. Less than $35, you will have everything here to do. I can't even tell I've taken anything out of this. I will say 5 vehicles, depending on how many coats you want to put. 3 at least entire cars. So $10 a car maybe. I mean, you can't really get much cheaper than that. I mean, unless it's free, and I don't think anybody's going to give you anything for free in this world anymore. So God bless y'all. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share. Hope the Lord bless you more today than he did yesterday. To him be all the glory, and we will see you guys on the next one, where we will be working on this 63 Ford Galaxy again, because I've got to get it ready for a race. So we'll see y'all then.
I'd say it's a nut job.